Hello everyone and welcome to me playing the Risk of Rain beta, which is a game currently available in its beta state for $24.99, or you can pre-order just the game for its full release for $10. The extra $15 for the beta release is essentially making it so that to get into the beta, you're living up to the Kickstarter tiers, as they did have a successful Kickstarter in which beta access started at $25. So in order to keep, it fair to the people who donated $25 to get into the beta, if you want beta access now, it is the same price as it would have been during the Kickstarter, which I think is a fair model. It would be nice to only have to pay the normal amount, but the developers need support. This game, from what I played of a beta earlier than this, before their Kickstarter, is really good and deserves the money, deserves the support toward making it the best game it can be. So I was more than happy to spend $25 to get this game. I know some people out there disagree with that logic, that paying extra for beta access to help support the development is a bad thing. I disagree with that. I think that it's actually a decent thing to do, so I don't mind one bit. One thing I will say before we get started here, first of all, as mentioned, this is a beta, so there might be little quirks or bugs or whatever. Second of all, one such quirk that I've noticed is that for some reason when I try to capture the game in OBS with it in a big window, which is counted as 2x scaling, it only captures a small portion of the screen. So I have to pay it in a relatively small window instead of the larger window that you would be able to play if not for that little quirk. So yeah, I haven't played this particular beta yet, so let's jump right in here. The Commando is characterized by long range and mobility. Effective use of his tactical dive will grant increased survivability, while suppressive fire deals massive damage. Okay, what else do we have for characters? That's the Commando. We got a miner who dashes an extra jump. We've got Handy, who applies force to all combatants for 180% damage, fires a drone for 210% damage, also healing yourself. Overclock, increased attack speed and stun chance by 30%. We've got an engineer who can place mines and turrets, use trinode and thermal harpoons, hit enemies from safe areas. We've got a huntress who is good at kiting, and that has a laser glaive, does the highest damage on the last bounce. Blink can also be used to reposition or re-aim abilities, and cluster bomb can take out grouped enemies at range. And we've got Acrid, which deals huge amount of damage after stacking poisons. We're just gonna go with the Commando to begin with because obviously he is kind of the base level character. So let's see, we got space to jump, arrow keys to move, and ZXCV to use abilities. So double tap is my main shot, the Z ability. And we're going to collect experience as we kill things. My X ability is a little bit more powerful shot, which is a good thing. I will say that playing in this tiny window is kind of difficult. Obviously that's just a little quirk with the current beta build. It's not something that really has to worry about. And if you're not playing to record or stream, you're just playing for the sake of playing, then you're not really going to have to worry about that at all, because obviously you are going to be in a position where it doesn't matter if OBS will correctly pick up the window or not. Because if you're not streaming or recording, then there's really no reason to worry about the size of the window. So yeah, honestly, I don't think that that's something that can be in the least bit held against the game. Press A to purchase chests. What do we get? Rusty jetpack. Increased jump height and reduced gravity. I'll take it. But yeah, so as much as that might be kind of a concern if you want to record the game, that in the current state it is a little bit hard to get a good screen region for it. Oh my god, I'm not doing very well here. This is a very difficult game, by the way. It is a roguelike action platformer, which is definitely very difficult, definitely has a lot of strong points to it from what I've experienced in the earlier beta. Oh god, that's an enemy. But yeah, so if you're planning on recording this, I'm not sure if maybe there's something that you have to do to make OBS pick it up properly. That's something I'm going to have to look into with someone who has streamed it before, probably. because at the moment I'm not sure what I would do to make it work on the larger window in OBS here. I should really not be standing around here like I am. If you don't know, in this game, the more time that passes, the more difficult it becomes. So the longer that you just stand around trying to grind levels, the more time your game lasts, which starts to cause the difficulty to increase. So your goal is to gather items, find bosses that you can kill to move on to the next stage of the game. I believe in the earlier beta I only ever made it to the second stage once, so don't expect a whole lot from me here. Not to mention that was a long time ago before this newer beta with updated stuff. So don't expect too much here. We can unlock this chest, which gives us a plasma chain, chance to tether yourself to an enemy. I'm not sure if that's really a good thing or not. I'm not sure what that really means. Oh god, we're taking a lot of damage here. But yeah, there are teleporters on each level that you're going to be trying to find, defeating bosses to get into them, which will take you into the next area. And there are a lot of enemies spawning now. We're just going to kind of run away for a moment. I know it's still on very easy difficulty, but it does not mean that it's actually very easy. However, if I stand back here and fire, then we get to kill them. And now I am tethered to an enemy. I don't know what that actually did for me, but we're going to jump over here to collect these items, and then we're going to head off to the right. So yeah, you know, it is kind of a little bit difficult for me to see what's going on in this smaller window. Once again, if you're not recording, that doesn't seem to, that won't be an issue at all. And I'm sure there's some way that something that I could do that would make that not an issue as is, because I know plenty of people have been streaming and recording this game already. So I do know that there's something out there that I can do to prevent this little quirk that I've got going on right here. But what it is, I'm just not sure. I also don't know what my other abilities are. I've got a tactical roll, apparently, which will allow me to get away from things. That's good to know. I wish I had realized that one sooner. Die, stupid jellyfish. So that thing is kind of scary. The fact that it can walk over those gaps and I can't is mildly annoying, because it makes this a much harder fight to deal with. But if I just keep jumping back and forth past it, that shouldn't be an issue. I am now tethered to this enemy, whatever that means once again. We have leveled up to level 6. We are still on very easy difficulty, going on 5 minutes here. I don't remember when the difficulty changes, but it's probably coming up before long. Oops, oops. If I had to guess, maybe 5 minutes it'll go to easy. And as you can see, the very easy difficulty is not actually very easy. It's just there aren't as many enemies on screen. Yeah, so now at 5 minutes we've gone up to easy. We do find the teleporter here, which we could activate. But now, once we activate it, just to show this off pretty much, we are going to spawn a boss, which we have to worry about in order to survive to the next area. Oops. I should really work on using my roll better. Of course, if I do this, I should be able to finish these guys off pretty well. I did find some kind of item. Defeat 20 Lemurians in one playthrough. Monster log, Lemurian. Okay, well that wasn't all that exciting. So we are going to try to survive here against all these enemies that are spawning. Oops. Oh god. So as you can see, it's not just a matter of once you activate the teleporter, you get a boss near the teleporter. Once you activate the teleporter, you start to get a lot of enemies spawning all over the place, which obviously makes things significantly more difficult. I still don't know what this tether does. Oh, I'm actually damaging him as I am tethered to him. That's good to know, actually. Okay, so now we're just going to fire some shots in here. We would like to kill this boss, obviously, but I don't know if it's going to happen. So yeah, when you're tethered to an enemy, it appears to do constant damage to them, which is, of course, not a bad thing to have. Okay, we are doing pretty decently, but not as well against the boss, seeing as we actually haven't hit the boss, I don't think. Nope. Or if we have, we've hit him for like 50 damage. We are probably going to die here, because I am not doing well at all. I don't know what I've got, but I've got an arrow pointing at me. that's telling me where the boss is, I guess. I am almost dead. Okay, we killed some stuff. No level up, so we're still on a point of worry. Okay, but stuff has stopped spawning. The enemies are all that's left, and the teleporter has completed its charge. So yeah, we are actually at a point where this gets a little bit easier for us. We can try to clear out the floor of enemies. Of course, the longer time that we spend on this floor, the more difficult floors going forward are going to be. So I'm just alternating tapping space and Z here, and occasionally X. Yeah, this is definitely a very fun game, even from what I played in the earlier version of the beta, before the Kickstarter. I'm definitely enjoying my time with it already here. What should be said about this? So yeah, obviously with it being a beta, it's still in development. It's not something that is a complete game yet. So be aware of that when you purchase it. If you do go for the beta package, you are getting something that's in development that is going to be growing as time goes on. So don't think that you're getting, a complete package right away. You will get the complete package when it's done, of course, but at the moment all you're getting is the beta to play, which is obviously a little bit different. So be aware of that. But so far, the music design and sound design in general is great. I did kill that boss. Arms race. Drones are equipped with explosive weaponry. That's kind of cool. Once I can find some drones, that'll be useful. We are going to spend a little bit more time on this floor. Mostly because I feel like there's probably a lot of stuff that I've missed in terms of chests and everything. I've got a whole lot of gold. So I want to take advantage of that. That one's down. We are going to just work our way through these enemies. One set by one set. Oh god. These ones are kind of a threat to me, I'm not going to lie. But I am tethered to one of them, so that's taking damage. That's going to help us out a great deal. And then we can finish this guy off real quick. Those guys up there are going to be a pain in the neck when I get back to them. And we want to... Can we fire while we're on here? No. So now we want to take these guys out as quick as possible. It does say kill remaining enemies in the corner there. I don't know if you actually have to kill them or not. I know that the teleporter seems to be active, so I don't think you do. But you might have to. I can't say that for sure just yet. We're going to come up here, see what we got going on. I think we've already been in this area. I really gotta say, I'm really loving the sound, the music. It's been, the beta, if I recall, either didn't have music or had very little. This version of the beta has much more, being much farther in development. Let's see, we got that item, we got a question mark, we got this thing. Let's go with this one. Meat nugget, enemies drop chunks of healing meat. That's actually really cool. We have another shop over here. Let's see what we can get for maybe 25 on this one. This increases the damage and attack speed for 8 seconds. That's really cool. We'll open this up and get increased attack speed. And you know what? Offer for a chance of rewards. We got head stompers, hurt enemies by falling. So that was a very, very productive use of some money and some time. We are up to medium difficulty now, so I don't expect to last too much longer. But on the bright side, at least we are at a position of we got a lot of good items. As you can see from the stores there and the items we're picking up, in terms of game design, this is very much a traditional roguelike. It is going to be you start off very weak, you find items that are going to help you to get stronger, and that'll help you to kill more and more enemies easier and easier. So don't expect to jump into this and be able to get really overpowered every run, because it's not going to happen most likely, but there is that chance available. And obviously with our stat ups that we've gotten, we are a little bit better for dealing with these guys. If it's as with most roguelikes, Fireman's Boots, fight fire with fire. Oh my god, that's awesome. And we get another rusty jetpack. I believe that does actually stack, because it does list as ×2 down there. Which doesn't quite give us the height to just kill these guys from a distance. But we do have enough damage now to, quite frankly, just kind of destroy a lot of them. And let us go ahead and kill off the rest of them. So now we have everything killed. We can go to the teleporter to advance. It does seem like you do have to kill all the enemies. That seemed to have answered my question. So yeah, what are my thoughts on this game so far just from playing this version of the beta? It's very good. Very, very good. If you're not willing to toss down the 25 to get into the beta, I do recommend tossing down the 10 to get the pre-order of the game, because it's something that I do feel is really going to make a very good game by the end. It's already very good as is, I should say. I just realized that this little mouse cursor is chilling on the screen. That was kind of silly. Oh, there was a container up there I could have opened. That did do some damage to me. Oh yeah, we got no money so far. So that's a little like booster that's going to pick us up. We do have an enemy down here now. So now we can... I don't know how to use my use ability. Oh god, these guys are really tearing me apart. ZXCV, maybe B? Oh god. Yeah, we're dead. We're dead. We're dead, we're dead, we're dead. Run, 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 run. Oh man, things crank up a lot on this second stage. Yep, that was the end of that one. So I guess we'll do one more run. 6 purchases, we got 716 gold, 9 items, 1 boss, 88 kills, 1310 time, and level 9, which is new records for everything, obviously, being my first game. Give me 1 second to take a drink here real quick. Okay, so we will go ahead and click try again. This is, I know I say this quite a bit lately, but this is something that will probably be making a return to the channel in another video. Quite frankly, it's a very fun game. It's a roguelike that is pretty much endlessly replayable if it is as item heavy as it seems to be, because you'll never be able to accurately predict what kind of a run you're going to have. Once we get some more gold, I want to buy one of these knives, see what they do. The med pack seems kind of obvious what it'll do, although it might just increase health, it might not heal you. I can't tell that for sure yet, but you know, the basic imagery given is obviously a pretty clear sign. Let us go up here. I'm definitely enjoying with my time with this game so far. It's not necessarily something that, you know, everyone's going to be into. If you don't really like games that are based around permadeath and getting new items each run that give you different runs each time, you're probably not going to be all that into this game. But I think you already knew that going in, that you weren't into those kind of games. For those of us who are into the roguelike methodry of item heavy, you're getting different items and powers each time, I think this is definitely well worth the money. It's definitely a fun game. It's definitely something that I am enjoying my time with and going to spend a lot more time with in coming days. We might as well activate the teleporter now. Magma worm. Oh dear lord! That is a very different boss from the one that spawned last time. So, to answer the question of, are there variable bosses? Yes, there are. And this one is kind of a dick. Okay, and we are almost dead already. I should not have activated that when I was still such a low level with no items. Let's go run for those knives, shall we? Let's go run over here. Oh dear lord, magma worm. That is so much more difficult. It appears like it keeps track of the gold progressively, not just based on each run through, which is kind of unexpected actually. I thought the score would take into account the gold from that run only. But yeah, so wow, I've lost my train of thought again. I keep getting distracted by this game because it's really good. Yeah, obviously I will link the developers page where you can purchase into the beta of this game on the description of the video, as well as they currently have a Greenlight campaign going. So I will of course link that as well, so you guys can show this game some love on Greenlight if you think it looks interesting. I know that I believe I've already voted for this on Greenlight before I actually found out yesterday that the beta was available for purchase, which was a huge discovery, honestly. Bustling fungus. Heal quickly when standing still for 2 seconds. That's actually really useful, although you don't really get the chance to stand still all that often in this game. So we are going to farm a little bit here, because I need to get some levels before I activate the teleporter this time. Otherwise it's just going to end up horribly like last time. Okay, this thing is just walking over all these gaps, which is scary. But, oh, nope, couldn't quite kill it before it got to me. Not long after, but not quite before. I gotta say again that I really love the music in the game so far. I'm sure there's probably more being added, but it is definitely something that is a good point to me. I love games that have good music, so to hear something with it is obviously nice. We're going to pick this up, which is Jar of Souls. Summon a ghost for every enemy that is on the screen. That's awesome sounding. If only I knew how to use my use weapons. That would be really good. Maybe shift? Oh, you know what? I'm an idiot. Whenever you try to use something, press A to summon imps to kill for a reward. A is the button that you need to press to use things, I'm guessing. Oh god, that thing followed me? That's ridiculous. Gar! I'm never gonna get those imps. Okay, maybe A is not the answer. Oh god, there are a lot of these guys now. Enter, space, control. Sorry, I'm just trying to figure out what button use is. We're just gonna start hitting things. Oh yeah, that's right, I heal quickly when I stand still for a moment. Tab? No. B. N. Okay, it's G. But what does that actually do for me? I mean, I have a ghost of this thing now, but what does that actually do? It's not doing anything, it's just kind of standing there. What does this item actually accomplish for me? These seem like higher level guys than what spawned last time. Oh god. So that first run went relatively well. These these next following runs have not gone nearly as well. I'm still not sure what that ghost item was actually meant to do. I will hopefully be able to figure that out at some point. But for right now, let us kill these guys. There seems to be only the 2 of them there so far. I wonder if it's because I activated the teleporter early enough last time where it kept it to kind of the earlier enemy spawns. So it didn't get those harder enemies spawning so early. But I did not like what happened right there. I just kind of got like destroyed so quickly. So jellyfish aren't that bad, but they're annoying because you can't knock them back, which is a huge thing in a game. Excuse me, in a game like this. We are going to go up here and wrap around. I'm very glad that I spent the money to get into this alpha. Into this beta. Head stompers, that's a good one. I didn't actually recognize that, otherwise I would have bought something else that we hadn't had before. But yeah, I do actually, I am very happy that I bought into the alpha for this. Or beta, not alpha. So many games have been doing alpha releases lately that to have one that did a beta release seems kind of unusual. But in terms of gameplay, it's very solid. I feel like I could get a lot of time out of this game, as I mentioned before. And I feel like there is enough here to where you can really make a vast variety of runs. Which is obviously a hallmark of any really good roguelike, is the ability to get so many items that, you know, every run that you get is going to have a little bit of a difference to it, whether it's small or big. Let's open this container. We get life savings, gain gold over time. That seems useful. Oop. Help if I was pressing the right buttons. We're spawning some mini golems here. Doesn't seem like I'm spawning a lot of gold over time, but at least a little bit is going to be helpful. Let us fire off this way, because I do believe there are some enemies over here. Yes. So we can kill these guys. Okay, perfect, perfect. Let's go up here where we can take out this one and this other stone golem. And we can roll. I keep forgetting to use my other abilities. I've been focusing on the first two, even though the other ones, like the roll, are very useful, as is the rapid fire. Okay, and then we have enough to either activate that drone or open this container. Let's open the container. We get a tough times, reduce incoming damage by 14%. That's really good sounding. It may just be me, but reducing damage by 14% seems like a pretty good item. So now if I start to use my other abilities a bit more, this becomes a bit easier on me, which is obviously what I'm going for here. So we can roll to get out of harm's way, do some rapid fire, do a heavy shot, roll again, do that, perfect. There's one of this weaker guys here, which is easy enough to take out. I still have no idea where the teleporter's at, which is of course not the best thing for me. Rapid fire, which does less damage, I think, but more shots in a row, which gives a little bit better knockback, and that is a good thing. So now that I'm actively using my other abilities, I do feel like I'm having a much easier time, which I think most of you out there are probably looking at me like I'm an idiot right now for taking so long to figure out that, hey, if I use everything at my disposal, I'm going to have an easier time in this game than if I don't. Let's go ahead and shoot that. It does seem to confuse them maybe as well. They got a little like marker over their head. I guess I should open up and activate that drone. That seems like it would be a wise thing to do. Of course, the hard thing about it is that it can be kind of difficult to remember which key is which ability. We want to go open this container up, which is going to give us some experience. So with a lot of different classes and so many different items in this game, I feel like there is a lot to see here. Definitely more than we could ever hope to cover in a single video, but maybe possibly even enough to where a full series you would never get a full view. Well, you would eventually get a full view, but where it would take a really long time, a la something like Isaac, where if you're playing that through for your first playthrough, you're not going to be able to get a full view of that game for a long time into your plays. I feel like this is kind of falling into that same category, which is a very good thing. As most of you know, I absolutely love Binding of Isaac, so to say that there's a game that reminds me of it a bit in terms of its replayability is kind of exciting news for me, because I played a lot of Isaac. We are going to go down here. We're already over the 5-minute mark, which is unfortunate, because I still have no idea where the teleporter even is. So that's going to take me down there, which is going to give me a container I can open. This guy is going to spawn. We can use our rapid fire on him, use that. We get more head stompers. I guess that means more damage when we fall on enemies from above. Although I haven't really noticed that at work just yet, but I'm not going to doubt the fact that it does work. I'm just going to say that I haven't had a chance to really pick it out. We do find our teleporter finally. Hopefully we do not get the magma worm this time. Let us cross our fingers on that. What are we getting here? Magma worm! I hate you. Oh my god. Oh god. Please stay away from me, worm! And all you other enemies who are kind of being jerks about things. I don't think that they can actually follow me off the ground, although the worm sure can follow me wherever I go, which instantly makes him much harder than the boss that we fought the first time through, which was kind of a gimme if you just got out of the area. He couldn't actually get to you. So this is definitely the harder boss of the two that we've seen so far. Hopefully we'll be able to do a little bit better against it this time than we did last time. As you can see, we are doing a bit better as it is. Okay, we need to keep running, keep rolling, keep shooting. We just literally stood right underneath it because I am the world's dumbest man. Roll through it for the win. Okay. So now once this timer reaches 0 for the teleporter is, I believe, when we are able to... when we go to just having to kill all remaining enemies, which of course is going to be a big thing for us, because right now we are just kind of... yeah, now we just have to kind of survive long enough to kill all the enemies, which is a task in its own right, but is going much better than if we had to worry about... oh god, I just stood there for it again. Oh god. That time I walked right through it and managed to not take damage, which is really cool. Now we will roll this way. Oh, that almost got to me. So now our drone is doing some good work for us, as are our just regular attacks. We took some damage there because I am an idiot, but that is not a... oh, now I just rolled right into it. That was stupid. Stood there and took it, and we are suddenly doing not so great. The worm is almost dead though. It's only got 344 health left, which is of course a benefit. Yeah! Burning Witness. The worm's eyes seems to still see, watching, and rewarding. I'm not sure what that does. This is a new use item that I think I've gotten before, which is going to give us, yeah, a missile swarm. Obviously a benefit. This guy shouldn't be able to hit me, but I can hit him, which is perfect. I have never seen something I preferred more. Apparently, am I on fire, or do I have the fire boots? I think I was on fire. And we can activate this thing. We did get an item right away. Press A to switch items. Safeguard lantern. Drops a lantern that fears and damages enemies for 10. Let's use disposable missile launcher. You gotta remember that it's G to activate. And as you can see, obviously the environments are randomly generated. So you're not going to have a layout that you can kind of memorize and figure out yourself. That bar on the right side there that my camera is actually kind of covering up in retrospect. I'll move that in a second so you can see that clearer, because I just realized that was there. Fire some missiles in here, that'll help a lot. We're still taking a lot of damage though. Whoop! Whoa! I accidentally hit the Windows key and got myself into the start menu, which obviously is not very good for playing this game. Okay. We're doing pretty good against these guys. Good. I think we're still on fire, maybe. And that was all the enemies, so we are actually safe to move on now. And let's go ahead, and we haven't gone up to the right over here yet. So before we enter into the teleporter, I want to go see what else we can purchase, if anything. I remember in that first run there were 2 shops, and this one we've only found 1 so far. So let's go up here, see what we get in this container. We get a health item. That's good. Healing up is never a bad thing. There's actually a lot of area over here that we just never explored before we beat the level. Obviously, the more time that you take to explore, the more difficult it gets, as I mentioned earlier. So that's going to be something to remember. Plasma chain, cool. I like that last time we had it, and I forgot I was going to move our camera. There we go. I did not think of that the entire time I was playing before. I apologize. The timer up there in the corner is what I was talking about when I was referring to how long the run had been. And the little bar on the right is what I just noticed, which is going to count down until you reach the next difficulty level. So my bad in terms of keeping that covered up for a while. I did not even think of where the camera had been placed from the last game. When I recorded Cannon Brawl, that was a good place for it. Now it was not so much, and I didn't realize that in time, so I do apologize for that. But now we can see the whole screen, which is a big thing, I'm sure. Will help to make it a little bit more visible what's going on. And we are going to bounce on that thing, I guess, and then jump in the teleporter, where we will be heading to Damp Caverns. So now looking at this, I can also say that the level layout, in terms of which level is coming after which, is also randomized. I do apologize that we just started getting some like major frame rate issues in terms of the game here. I'm not sure why the recording dropped so much when we went into the caves. It seems to be back now, but for a while there, that was getting really bad. And I have definitely taken more damage than I would like to. Granted, any kind of damage is more damage than I would like to. So we are unfortunately probably not going to be lasting much longer. The second level cranks up the difficulty real quick, even considering for the natural increase due to the time. We can run over here. This is going to cost us 112. Damn, that's expensive. So right now, not a whole lot is spawning, which makes me think there's going to be a lot of stuff spawning pretty soon. Because it doesn't seem like the kind of game that's going to go without a lot of enemies for very long. Let's just go ahead and do whee. That didn't help too much. And we've actually got this thing right on our tail here, which is going to be kind of a pain. There we go. We'll let our drone finish off this mushroom. We are healing a little bit for standing around still. How am I tethered to that enemy over there? Does it just happen randomly? We're gonna die from fire? Nope, not quite. Okay, so now we got all that taken care of. We are healing up slowly but surely. We can open this crate now, see what we get. Which is going to give us Bitter Root, increase maximum health by 8%. That would be real useful if we had anywhere close to maximum health. I'm guessing that maybe 15 minutes or 20 minutes is where the next difficulty spike is going to come up. I can't tell if there's a line right where we are. It looks like there is. So in about a minute we're probably going to jump to hard, I would guess. I'm not sure what difficulties this game actually goes through, so I can't say for sure what's coming next, but I do know that this is already quite difficult to begin with. I don't think there's a way to drop through platforms, at least not that I've found yet. Oh dear lord, we just took a long fall. That's 183, we can't afford that. 300 to repair a missile drone, that would actually be really helpful. There is an enemy spawn there. Okay, let us go ahead and rapid fire, and then... Oh. There we go, he is dead. Oh man. We are so close to picking up that item, whatever it is. And one of these guys who can apparently teleport, that's good to know. Okay, so now we need to work on dodging more often. Doing my roll here. That guy who can teleport is almost going to kill us, but we did survive. Let's go quickly open up this container before these guys get over here, which gives us panic mines. Drop a mine from at low health. That's useful, I think. Okay, now I'm pretty much just like running away and not even making any progress in terms of killing things. So yeah, this game ramps up in difficulty real quick. If you don't enjoy games that get difficult, I do not recommend this game, because it is going to be very difficult very quick for you. If you aren't into difficult games, that is not necessarily a good thing, although for me it is a wonderful thing, because I love when games offer up a heavy challenge. But that is it, we have died. You have broken every bone in your body. That sounds uncomfortable. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this quick look at Risk of Rain, which is available on the developer's website, which will be linked in the video description. Let me real quick move this down here so you can see all the stats screen. But yeah, the developer's website where you can purchase into the beta will be on the description, as well as the Greenlight link if you want to vote for them on Greenlight. I highly recommend this game. If you aren't quite willing to help fund the game with a $25 beta access, then I highly encourage you to pick it up either with the pre-order for $10 or when it comes out on Steam or other distribution methods in full, because this is a game that, in its current beta state, is already extremely fun. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the look. Don't be surprised if you see more Risk of Rain on the channel, and I will see you on the next episode. Have a good one, everyone.